on the ground. This is Leonard Fournette. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, nothing but room to run.
Throwing Rivers. He's going to air one, and the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by Marshawn Lattimore. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. A decent run there following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Over the middle, complete. It's Hansen. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there of 20 yards. This is Breida. And able to work his way down to the 16. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Now a toss play. It's Breida. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. First carry now. This is Johnson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And Gold is able to put it through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Rivers now, the throw on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. To throw, Rivers. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
12.
They go play action. Rivers. And he fires one, but incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, that the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
On the crossing route, complete. That's Hansen. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Breida. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. Forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
A 1st down throw from Mayfield. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards there on the 1st down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the gun, Mayfield. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. To throw, Mayfield. This is caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's Mayfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play.
Detroit!
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
12. Zero.
Following the interception here, Rivers. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Rivers now on 2nd down. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Working out of the gun, Rivers. He'll check this one off to Fournette. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
On now, Kaiser, the punter, sending it away. This is fielded at the 27. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number. So second and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Working out of the gun, Mayfield shakes off the sack. Room here to run. And he lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Rivers now after the fumble recovery. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's second and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On third down, Rivers. And the third down pass falls incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's Drew Kaiser now as he's on to punt for New York. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And out now come the Cowboys. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Back near his goal line. Here's Mayfield. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
There's a lot about that play you could easily see coming. Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line, you know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even given up a defensive touchdown.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. They run with Breida. And that gets him a little room as he'll take this up over the 10-yard line. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now it's Breida. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Well, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape. 1st and 10. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
A first down throw here for Rivers. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Jabril Peppers, a former first-round pick, there on the coverage.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the 2nd quarter, it has been a struggle. 3rd and long for Rivers. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Drew Kaiser now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Mayfield looks to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And that one results in 35 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. The first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Second down, Mayfield. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a handoff, Johnson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA and playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. Mayfield to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was...
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Khalil Mack. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his first, this from 41. And Gold is able to put it through. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Giants. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
And that's the big fella's M.O. right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Rose. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Two minutes to go here in the 1st half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Play clock down to 5, and they're going to burn a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Second down, Rivers. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Giants on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. He's going to launch this thing way downfield into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And an alley to run. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Well, the former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Mayfield to throw it this time. Dancing to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he's got Moncrief. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Detroit! Detroit!
1st down, Mayfield. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 more there and another 1st down. On 1st and 10, Mayfield being chased out left. Past the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Throwing, Mayfield. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for 2nd down. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And Gold is able to put it through. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Mayfield on first down. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Mayfield. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. He got 29 yards that time.
Detroit! Detroit!
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards on the play. This quarterback now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
They run again with Breida, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives have bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Hey, go orange. Orange.
Now a second down throw for Rivers. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Let's go.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Mayfield down. And no forward progress here. This is going to be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt. And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Fielded just inside the 20. Dancing away at the 35.
It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. T.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now Rivers. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
On third down, Fournette. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
To throw, Mayfield steps away to his left. He rifles one that's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Fournette. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down, Rivers. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Sua Cravens with a pick. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
Following the interception, Mayfield on the crossing route, complete. It's Hansen. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he has got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Good move by There goes Duke Johnson. He's at the 40, 20, 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. Duke Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Well, a lot of things have to go right for an option pitch to be successful. Everything lined up there on the long run.
It does, because you have to make the proper read. It doesn't matter what guy you've decided is going to be read on the defensive front. You still have to execute it. If he comes to the quarterback, you saw there, pitch it out to the running back, and off he goes. A lot of teams don't like to run the option because they don't like having their quarterback hit.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Giants ready to come out now. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
He will go down. A Cowboys sack. Kenny Clark busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
12.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Rivers looking deep for and got his man complete. They give him a gain of 38. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Hey. 0.
Rivers now to throw on first down. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Rivers again. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
Remember, throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. The Giants on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic, 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Here's Rivers. And the pressure gets to him again.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Desperation time. Rivers on 4th down. Looking deep for Gabriel. And this is going to be incomplete. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And the Cowboys' defense is going to get them the football back. And now here come the Cowboys. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example. And now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
A 1st down throw from Mayfield. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Mayfield now on 2nd down. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Khalil Mack in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Rivers now on 2nd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. From the gun, Mayfield. Underneath for Johnson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. 4th down, Mayfield. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down at the 28. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he's able to get the 1st here as he's taken down at the 25. Now the Cowboys going to burn the 1st of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Lucky 56.
Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. That's going to be caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there at 22. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Mayfield to throw it. That's complete right around the 8. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Lucky 56. Detroit!
2nd down, Mayfield. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Mike Gesicki with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it? Yeah. This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. Going up top. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. He's going to look deep down the field. And it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Cowboys,